The difference between someone that has just a tiny bit more clarity, just 1% more, compounding each day, it is worlds apart. Yeah. We back with another reflection on the Daily Vedantic, and today's reflection is on the value of any of this pursuit, the project of philosophical undertaking, pursuing clarity. What is the value of clarity? Well, we all seem to think that you'd rather see clearly than not. That's what we say. It seems obvious. And yet so few of us take the time to clean the windshield, so to speak, each morning before jumping on the highway going 70 miles an hour, weaving in and out of traffic. We're so quick to jump in the car, so to speak, metaphorically, get on the highway, make sure we're seeing these different milestones that we're getting past, never stopping to clean the windshield, to remove all that blocks us, getting into wreck after wreck after wreck, and always thinking, wow, this is just setting me behind. I need to go faster next time, instead of pursue whatever we're pursuing with more clarity. So what is the value of clarity? Well, mathematical value of clarity, if you could see 1% more each day, let's say someone is 1% clearer and more effective at whatever they're pursuing each day. To get us away from this thinking that clarity is like, oh, that's like a 20% improvement. I'll hit my goals maybe a few months early over the next few years. The actual mathematical, analytical approach to clarity of just 1% more effective each day compounds over the course of a year to what number do you think it is? If you take 10 seconds just thinking through directionally what number you think it is, to see the contrast between a 1% improved clarity each day, compounding over the course of a year, versus complacent status quo. I don't need 1%. That's a tiny improvement. Basically the same if I just keep operating in my current clarity. What is the difference between those two different perspectives? I'll let you think about it and try to come up with a guess. 1% more effective at what they're pursuing each day versus someone that doesn't. The difference over the course of a year is 37x in effectiveness versus the person that thinks, 1%, what's the point? That's basically what I'm already doing. 1% improved effectiveness, whatever you're doing. Maybe it's, more efficient working out at the gym. 1%. I'm not saying 10, 20, 30%. I'm not saying some quantum leap of be 2 times as efficient each day. That's 1%. It's basically the same efficiency. Barely an improvement, but it is an improvement. And it's kind of directionally what Albert Einstein said, the most powerful force in the universe is compounding interest. That compound benefit of what is almost the exact same effort, but just a tiny bit more clarity. And your life design is a 37x difference from the person that doesn't have that perspective. 37 times the result, not 3 times, not 5 times, not even a 10x difference. So much more than that, 37 times the results that you're already waking up, putting in the effort, trying to get. But if you open the aperture a little bit more, take some time to clean the windshield, to study, to reflect each morning, and cultivate our clarity, because that's what philosophy is. It's cultivating our capacity to see clearly. As I've said in different episodes, philosophy, the term philosophia, the Greek terms for love of wisdom. When we take it a level deeper to understand what we're even saying when we say love of wisdom, the definition of love in the Vedantic tradition, which predates Greek philosophy by 6,000 years, the definition of love is identification, seeing no otherness in the world. It is a practice, an exercise in identification. Wisdom is the capacity to see the end in the beginning. So a love of wisdom is identification with the capacity to see the end in the beginning, identification with clarity. I know that might sound a bit academic, but maybe it's something to hear a few times.
It's the house of learned doctors.
And after you hear a few times, it starts to make a bit more sense. That philosophy is not some academic, irrelevant practice relegated to sitting in a chair quietly in the mountains all by yourself. It's a pursuit of clarity. And the difference between someone that has just a tiny bit more clarity, just 1% more compounding each day, it is worlds apart. And their effectiveness, getting what they want out of the world, getting what they want out of themselves, worlds apart from the person complacent, sticking with the status quo, saying, I already know how to do this. I already see pretty clearly. What's the point of a little bit of effort? 10, 15 minutes of study and reflection each morning. What's the point of that? Well, it turns out you're 37 times behind the person to your left or right that chooses the path towards clarity. And philosophy has nothing to do with some academic pursuit irrelevant to our daily lives. Philosophy is clarity. Our personal, professional, spiritual pursuits, and our personal, professional, and spiritual pursuits every minute of every day. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic, and that is the value of a pursuit like this. We'll see you next time.